प्रपन्न पारिजाताय तोत्र वेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः. Om. Dear friends, we are now seeing a very interesting part in the chapter 2 of Gita. We are now trying to see what Gita is telling us, and in that we have come to the 47th shloka, which is the most misunderstood shloka. I was telling you in the last episode. It talks about, it is almost like a formula for karma yoga. So, in the last episode I was explaining to you the difference between Swarga and Moksha, and Krishna actually almost ridiculed this Swarga, saying that Swarga is something which is transitory, which is very, very temporary in nature. But then a person has to go beyond this Veda, etc. One has to go beyond this ritual. Veda means the portion of Vedas which deal with the rituals, and then one has to discover himself. So, for that there is what is called a preparatory stage. That preparatory stage is that is the Chitta Shuddhi, that is attaining purity of mind. Unless a person has the purity of mind, he will not be ready enough to do proper understanding, to do proper analysis, to do proper discrimination, and then know the real nature of his own self. So, that is what Krishna was saying. And then the shloka here is karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. That is, I will just stay with the shloka for some time, because this is a very, very oft quoted shloka. Karmani eva adhikaraha te. Te means to you. Karmani eva adhikaraha. Your responsibility is only for action. That is, you have to do your action. Action means some karma. Karma is something which is prescribed for every person in the society, depending on say whether he is a particular, whether he is a Kshatriya. If he is a Kshatriya, his karma is like this. His bounden duty is this. If he is a Brahmin, his bounden duty is to study Vedas. His bounden duty is to teach others. His bounden duty is to lead a very simple life. His bounden duty is to be contented. So, all these things are his characteristics, and then he is bound to be like that. And only when he is like that, he can be called a Brahmana. And Kshatriya is another man who is bound to do certain things. He is bound to protect the people who are in trouble. So, these are certain duties. So, karmani eva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. This let it not be, let that you have a responsibility for karma alone, but not for karma phala. Karma phala, you please leave it. You are doing action, but you are not desiring that karma phala. It is, again I am telling you, we should not confuse it with somebody going to office and then not taking salary. We are not talking about the bread earning aspect of karma. We are talking about some other type of karma where human interaction is there with other people, where a person is performing some yajna or something like that for purpose of punya, or somebody even in your work also. Suppose you have an interaction with people where you are capable of, where you have the discrimination to do either good or bad to people. Suppose you are working in a government office. You are working in a government office, and then you are supposed to serve the people, because we say it is service. All government jobs are called government services. So, this government service, if you are using it in a wrong way, that is, if you are using your office as an office of power and not as an office of service, then you are certainly violating what Krishna is saying here. So, you are doing something wrong, something unethical, which is harming the people, and then you are going to get the bad result of it. So, that is it. Then, ma karma phala hetur bhuhu mate sangostva karmani. So, the third point says, ma karma phala hetur bhuhu. Karma phala, that is the result of karma, is a janma, another janma. Do not become the cause for that janma. That is, if you are seeking the fruit of that karma, suppose you are doing some action and then you want that fruit, I want punyam, etc., etc., then you are necessarily having another janma. Don't do that. So, that is what he says. But at the same time, there is a danger. Somebody may say, okay, I will not do any action, I will keep quiet. Somebody can say like that. You should not do that also, because you have got a responsibility in society. You have got a responsibility in society, that so doing a particular karma is a social responsibility. As I said, for every category the duties were fixed. For a Brahmana, he was jolly well supposed to do Swadhyaya. If he did not study Vedas, he was a condemned person. If he did not teach others, he was a condemned person. So it was like that. So if a Brahmana became greedy, he was a condemned person. So all those things were there. So coming back to this, Mate Sangostva Karmani. Te, to you, Akarmani, in inaction. Akarma means inaction. In inaction, Ma Sangaha Astu means don't get attracted by that. Don't fall into the trap of inaction. Don't say, no, I will not do any action. I will keep quiet. Then there will be no karma phala. It is not like that. Inaction also is action. Because inaction, in what way is it action? We talk about two things called sins of commission and sins of omission. Suppose a person is committing something wrong, that is a sin of commission. Suppose you are supposed to do something and then you fail to do that, that is the sin of omission. So like that, this is the sin of omission. So don't take recourse to inaction. So that is what he says in this. So he says, the next shloka also he says, Yogastha kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya siddhya siddhyos samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. So the next 2-3 shlokas, they go on in the same way. So he makes a few points about what this karma yoga is. So I will explain in English only, I will not go into the Sanskrit text. Karma yoga is, what exactly is it? The first point we have noted is, I do some activity, karma, but I do not expect the result called punyam. Then because punya karma also is a bondage, because punya karma is also leading you to some good janma. So that is also a bondage. There again we are supposed to do some karma. So like that, it is a bondage. It is not an escape from that bondage. It is somewhat like a person getting bound by gold chain. It does not matter whether you are bound by iron chain or by a golden chain, you are bound. So it is like that. Then how to do this karma? This karma has to be done with Ishwararpana Buddhi. Here comes a particular phrase called Ishwararpana Buddhi. You are doing it as a sort of your duty which has been assigned by the God's will. That is the overall creation, in the entire creation, there is a particular order. In that particular order, every person is supposed to do a particular thing. So that duty which is mentioned, which is ordained, some duty is something which is ordained on you. So that if you do not do, then that is going to attract sin. So what I have to do is, I have to do that particular action as an order from the Lord, as though I am implementing the divine will, as though I am putting myself in the shoes of the Lord, as though I am acting on behalf of the Lord. So all these things, you put in whatever way you want. I am doing my action as an order from the Lord, not as though I am doing it. No doubt I am doing it, but I am doing it as an order from the Lord. So that is what he says. And then it is an individual's action. He is for the aggregate good. Krishna is going to say in third chapter, he is going to elaborate this karma yoga in the 3rd chapter also. There he is going to use a particular word called Loka Sangraha. Loka Sangraha means social welfare, welfare of the Loka, Loka Sangraha, that is welfare of the people. So a person has to do this work for welfare of the people. That is, a individual action has to be for the larger good, for largest number of people. That is Vyashti. In Vedanta there are two words called Vyashti and Samashti. Vyashti is the individual, Samashti is the aggregate. Whatever the Vyashti does, he has to be for the welfare of the Samashti. So that is what Krishna is going to say. So if we see the difference between karma and karma yoga now, so we have now got an understanding of what is karma and what is karma yoga. So if we just see the distinction, we will note these particular points. Number one is, karma is merely a sort of ritual which is expecting some result. That is, you expect some result and do something. Whereas karma yoga, there is karma, but then you are not expecting result. There is karma. It is not as though it is inaction. You are doing karma as an order from the Lord, or implementing the divine will. or implementing the cosmic will or cosmic scheme, whatever word you want to use. So, and but then you are not expecting result. The second point is mere karma is not connected with liberation. Mere karma is only connected with bondage, it is not connected with liberation. Whereas karma yoga is a sort of preparatory step for liberation. Karma yoga itself directly does not lead to liberation. This is a really a rather tricky point which we have to explain again and again and again if it has to sink into the mind, because understanding Gita is a rather tough problem. Because every time you use the word karma, karma yoga, moksha, etc., what is the subtle difference between these? So, we have to listen to this several times. So, I also keep on repeating so that it sinks into our mind. So, this karma yoga directly does not lead to moksha, it is a preparatory step for moksha. How is it a preparatory step? Because it gives a purity of mind. As we were discussing, what is karma yoga? Doing your karma, whatever is ordained on you as an order from the Lord. You are just with a very, very pure mind, you are doing it. You are not seeking any fruit. And then even when you are giving some money, suppose for example, you are doing some dhanam. When you are doing some dhanam, it is a dhanam without strings. It is a dhanam which is without expecting anything from the other person. So, if we just if we really want to experience this, if we do this even in a little way in our own personal life, suppose you start doing it in a little way, then you really feel some lightness of heart. You really feel that your mind is becoming pure. So, in fact, this can be felt. This is something which can be felt and experienced. So, this purity of heart is something which is talked about in this say karma yoga. So, it is a preparatory step for moksha. So, but then whereas karma is not connected with this chitta shuddhi or purity of mind, then this karma is done for personal abhyudaya and nishreyasa. There are two words in Vedanta, one is abhyudaya and the other is nishreyasa. Abhyudaya means say worldly progress, worldly say advancement, I want to have this, I want to have this. So, all this worldly advancement, whereas karma yoga is for nishreyasa, it is something which is connected with purity of mind and then which is ultimately leading to chitta, it is a preparatory ground for moksha. Then in this karma, we have also come across a word called sanchita karma. Sanchita karma means say the baggage of karma which has been there accumulating. In the very first episode about 3 episodes ago, I was explaining to you that this karma is something which is somewhat like a backlog. Suppose I do a particular thing, all the results have not come in this life only. So, there is some karma which is pending, and for those pending karma I take up another birth. So, this is called sanchita karma. Sanchi means in Telugu we say sanchi, it is somewhat like a baggage. Sanchita, it is somewhat in the baggage. So, all that karma will still further accumulate, whereas in this karma yoga, that sanchita karma will be slowly reducing, because by doing good deeds, your papa karma will go away. So, these are the differences between this karma yoga and ordinary karma. So, then now Krishna comes to, Krishna also praises this karma yoga. He says in this shloka 50, he uses a beautiful word called yoga karmasu kaushalam. In fact, this slogan you sometimes come across in some offices, yoga karmasu kaushalam. Yoga is say efficiency in action or skillfulness in action. Some English translation will be there. Yoga karmasu means in all activities. Kaushalam, kaushalam means skillfulness. Kushalata we say in Telugu, we say kushalata. That is say alacrity, swiftness, and then skillfulness. All these things can be used. What is this skillfulness? Well, he says, buddhi yukto jahadiha ubhe sukruta dushkrute. An intelligent way of action is to get rid of both sukruta and dushkruta, to get rid of both punyam and papam. And then this is what is yoga, yoga karmasu kaushalam. That is, you are performing an action, but you are not getting bound by that, you are not getting affected by that. So, that is your intelligence, a very intelligent way of performing action. So, that is what he says. And he again goes on to say about, he then again switches over to jnani. So far he has talked about, in the beginning he talked about what is the supreme being, that is supreme, what is the nature of say being. He said, what did he say, that nainam chindanti shastrani nainam dahati pavakha, this atma is something which is all it, which is eternal, etc., etc., he said. Then he came to what is called karma, then he talked about karma yoga, and then again he is now coming to a person who is a jnani. A person who is a jnani means person who has done that viveka. I was telling you, jnanam is a process of a logical understanding of one's own self, a logical understanding of the nature of one's own self. If you go to Ramana Maharshi or any saint, Ramana Maharshi's talks, if we see, talks or even say dialogues, if we see, all these questions are about the nature of the self only, who am I? So that way, so this, I mean here again Krishna is talking about say a jnani. So he says, there is a shloka here 53. So he says, Shruti vipratipanna te yada sthasyati nischala samadha vachala buddhihi tada yogam avapsyasi. So you forget about this Sanskrit words and all that. There is a beautiful word called Shruti vipratipanna. That is, Shruti means Veda. Vedas tell so many things, and then when so many things are prescribed to you, you get confused. So this confusion, your mind is now in a confused state. He says, Shruti vipratipanna te matihi, because you have talked about so much of dharma, you have talked about so many things, and then usually a person who reads too many things, his mind also is confused. So Krishna is saying that Shruti vipratipanna te matihi, that is your mind which is now confused by so many sayings of Shruti. Once that type of mind comes into, achieves some stillness, and then you achieve this particular state called samadhi, that is samadhi. He also uses a word called samadhi, samadhau achala buddhihi tada yogam avapsyasi. Samadhi, he uses a particular word called samadhi. Samadhi is another word which is one word which we have to understand. Usually what do we mean by samadhi? Samadhi we also use for in a graveyard. Suppose there is a tomb. Some people in some places you say that is the samadhi of so and so, this is Gandhi samadhi, this is Nehru samadhi, etc. We are not talking about that samadhi, that we are not talking or referring to a tomb. Samadhi is not even a state of, suppose a yogi is in a state of trance, he is in a state of total trance, he has discarded all the thoughts from his mind, he is in a state of trance. We are not even talking about such a trance, we are talking about a state of clear awareness. A person, we are now in Vedanta, when we talk about samadhi, we are not talking about a yogic trance, because yogic trance is again a temporary thing. What is yoga? Yoga says, yogaha chitta vritti nirodhaha, that is what Patanjali says, yogaha chitta vritti nirodhaha. The mind, there is a continuous stream of ideas which are coming, continuous stream of thoughts, it is called stream of consciousness. Psychologists, the same thing, they call it stream of consciousness. What Patanjali says, chitta vritti or chitta srotaha, they call it stream of consciousness. So there is a stream of thoughts. So that stream has to be totally stopped and the mind has to be totally still. So they stay in that particular place for a particular time, for some particular time, and then come back to normal, say, work. So which means they are in a particular state of, say, happiness for some time, then again they come back. So that is something, samadhi is great, there is no doubt about it, because samadhi is achieved by so much of controlling of mind. Okay, it is so much of so many other practices like pranayama, etc. You have to do pranayama in order to control the mind. We are going to see that in the 6th chapter, because Vedanta does not negate any of these things. Vedanta approves everything. Vedanta says, yes, it is also correct, it is also there, it has got a place, but it is in this place. Whether you are in the 5th class or 10th class or 11th class, or whether you are in a degree or postgraduate, so those places are fixed here. So it is like that. Yoga is good, but then it is at a lower level. When we in Vedanta talk about samadhi, it is not referring to a trance, it is referring to a state of awareness. He is fully awake, he is not in a trance, he is fully awake, he is doing his activity, he is doing all his work, like Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna, we cannot say that he is not a jnani. Lord Krishna is a jnani. He is a jnani, he is having full awareness of things, and then he is also acting. He is also a man of action. A Jnani can also be doing his work for the welfare of the society. So, that is what in fact Krishna is going to say again and again in Gita. So, we will come to that later, but here now what Krishna is saying is Shruti vipratipanna te yada sthasyati nischala samadhau achala buddhihi. Your buddhi has to come to that samadhi. What is that samadhi? The etymological meaning of samadhi I will explain. Samyak adhiyate manaha asminniti samadhi. That is a particular level of understanding in which your mind is very clearly there, established. Samyak adhiyate, your mind is established in a clear awareness. Your mind is established in a clear state of understanding. So, that is what is called samadhi. So, here this is a particular understanding, a level of understanding. So, that is what is referred to here. Then Arjuna gets a doubt, and before going into that doubt, we can just recapitulate what we have seen. We have so far seen three types of people. That is, one type of people who are doing only karma, they are very happy with karma, they are happy with results, and then they are contented, and then they will be getting bound by the karma, etc., etc. Then the second type is that there are people who are doing karma yoga. Karma yoga, that is a preparatory step, what is called chitta shuddhi, etc. Then the third type of people is the people who do karma yoga and then who do not stop with that. Karma yoga is only a preparatory stage. They will go to the level of jnana, they will go to the level of viveka. Viveka is discrimination, understanding, etc., etc. So, understanding means understanding of what, we will come to that again, because the Upanishads, there we come to Upanishads. We graduate from the karma kanda and then come to the jnana kanda of the Vedas. When Lord Krishna says you discard Vedas, he is not talking about discarding Upanishads, he is only talking about Shruti Vipratipanna. When he says, he is only talking about the ritual portion, he is not talking about the jnana portion. So, you are graduating from that ritual level to the jnana level. So, that is what we see, that is the third level of people. So, a jnani can also do some action. So, that is what we have seen. Now, here Arjuna has got a doubt here. So, this is again a very famous statement, Sthita prajnasya ka bhasha samadhistasya keshava. And fortunately or unfortunately, I mean Ghantasala has sung this Gita, and then this shloka is known to several people. Sthita prajnasya ka bhasha, that is what is a sthita prajna? You are now talking about a samadhi. Samadhi means where your mind is stationed in a firm awareness. So, what is that firm awareness? What is that firm understanding? This sthita prajna is another word for samadhi. That is sthita prajna. One whose mind is one whose understanding is so well established. Sthita means stha, the root meaning for stha is to stay. Sthita means something which is firm. Sthita prajna means one whose our understanding is very firm. What is his definition? How does he samadhisthasya, one who is in that state of awareness? So, he is asking Krishna. Krishna is going to elaborately give some reply. We will see what he says in the next episode. Thank you. Om Tat Sat.